I'm out here. The reason you can't see me is I'm out in this sea, and I mean sea of Cubs fans. But don't you worry. Let me get past this bus. Let me get past all these people. Here we go. Look, it all comes down to this for the San Diego Padres. This is game time for them. A win or go home. And you know who they're going to trust with this game would be one Dylan Cease. This is a guy that surprised a lot of people when Mike Schilt named him the starter today. And let me be honest with you, he's not going to pitch deep into this ball game. The Padres are hoping for couple good innings out of Dylan Cease, maybe once, twice through the lineup, and then it will probably be Michael King, and they will deploy everybody they need to try and force this game 3. But Dylan Cease has not had a very good postseason career. In fact, it's something he talked about yesterday during his media availability. He says, look, I think having a lot of experience helps me, but I'm not thinking too much about it. Listen to Dylan yesterday when he talked about his lack of postseason success.
I'm kind of just leaving that in the past, you know. At the end of the day, it's about executing, and yeah, so I'm just setting myself up to execute as well as I can. I'm glad I have that experience. You know, the more experience, the better when it comes to playoffs. You know kind of how to slow things down or what it's going to feel like or what to expect. But no, I mean, I'm just honestly even leaving that in the past and just attacking this year.
And if you want to look behind the stats, well, Dylan Cease has thrown 7 2/3 innings in the postseason. His ERA is 12.91. If you're not a gigantic baseball fan, let me summarize. That ain't good. Today is the day that Dylan Cease really needs to come out here and try and change that conversation about him in the playoffs. And look, today, turn the calendar to October, right? Well, in baseball, October and November, that's where legacies are made. That's where memories are molded into the fabric of playoff baseball. Now is the time for the San Diego Padres to try and make some of those memories. And if they don't, the 2025 season will come to an end.
Yeah, Jake, we're going to need some big swings here today. I know we saw a little small ball yesterday, some bunts and some key moments, but I'd have to think that we're going to rely on some of our heavy hitters to go deep here and hopefully get a few over the wall, huh?
Yeah, look, runs in the postseason come at a massive premium. That's why you saw Jackson Merrill bunting. That's why you saw the Chicago Cubs bring in their infield in the second inning. In a 1-0 game, mind you, so runs come at a premium, but the Padres, look, there's no two ways to cut it. They have to get big performances from guys like Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis Jr., Luis Ariz. You're not going to make it far in this postseason. Heck, you might not make it past today if you don't get performances from those guys. And we can talk about pitching all you want, like we did with Dylan Cease, but in all honesty, Chris and Eric, it's going to come down to this Padres offense today. You're not going to win a whole lot of baseball games scoring 1 run.
That's true, yeah, and I think, you know, in baseball they say they're due. Yeah. And Machado, Tatis, Luis Ariz, put them to the challenge, and those are the kind of guys that will literally step up to the plate and get things done.
And just like Jake stepped up to the plate there, we thought he was behind the scenes. He was actually just behind the sea of people.
Yes.
Maybe the Padres will actually step up.
You
here.
emerge from a pack of Cubs there.
Hey, it's all, if we're going to be out here, we might as well bring you out here, right? I wanted to give you a nice vibe with what Wrigley's like as everybody pours into the friendly confines.